We hope you enjoy this local and informative content from the North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber values our partnership with FATV and their continued support and commitment to our programming. Thank you for watching.
Life is full of complexity. We believe your bank should help, not add to it. That's why we created Life Design, our unique banking approach that helps you get clarity about what options you have, which one is right for you, and why. It helps you move forward with the confidence that comes from making a well-informed decision. Working with a bank that actually cares. This is Life Design Banking, and we are Fidelity Bank. Let's get you where you want to be.
Hello, everyone. My name is Roy Nascimento, President and CEO of the North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 37th annual meeting of this great organization. I want to begin by taking a moment to thank you for your support and commitment to the Chamber and the work that we do collectively to advance the 27 communities that comprise the North Central Massachusetts region. There is no doubt that this past year has been a challenging one. It has been a year filled with great uncertainty and sorrow brought on by the worst health crisis of our lifetime, but also one filled with great courage and purpose. The pandemic tested us like never before, but while it did its worst, it also brought out the best in us. We came together collectively in new ways through this chamber to deliver more for our communities and to address the biggest challenges facing North Central Massachusetts. The Chamber served as a source of both strength and leadership and helped lead the recovery effort through creative initiatives and programs, effective advocacy, and timely guidance. I am immensely proud of our impact and grateful to you for your confidence and commitment. I want you to know that you inspire us each and every day with your innovation, resiliency, and strength. I am excited about our future and look forward to working with you over the next year. While the past year was a challenging one, it also made us stronger, and we are seizing the opportunity with bold new plans for the future of North Central Massachusetts. I promise you that we will continue to be focused on building a stronger economy and quality of life for everyone who calls North Central Massachusetts home. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce David Duval, President of Protective Services, Inc., and Chair of the Chamber's Board of Directors.
Good morning, North Central. It gives me great pleasure as Chair of the Chamber to welcome you to our 37th annual meeting and online event. The North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce is an important partner of the region. The Chamber is an unwavering advocate for the interests of North Central. And my business is proud to be involved in helping to advance our economy. Each year, many local businesses support various events and programs through sponsorship. I would like to acknowledge and thank our premier sponsor, Fidelity Bank, for their support of today's program. This year, the Chamber has partnered with Fitchburg Access Television to produce today's program. Thank you to FATV for your support. I would also like to thank our partner sponsors for their support of today's program: AIS, Leominster Credit Union, Mount Wachusett Community College, and Resource Management, Inc. And thank you to our supporting sponsors, Enterprise Bank and Trust, Protective Services, and Rollstone Bank and Trust. We have an exciting program today recognizing this year's class of the Community Leadership Institute. Our Ambassador of the Year and several other volunteers for their service, and guest speaker, U.S. Senator Edward Markey and Governor Charlie Baker.
At Leominster Credit Union, you're somebody with low home equity rates to make your home improvement plans happen. Whether it's remodeling your kitchen or adding an extra bedroom, now is a great time for those long-delayed projects. Make your plans happen at LCU with low rates and flexible spending. At LCU, it's all about options, and it starts with membership. Leominster Credit Union, you're somebody.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dean Mazzarola, Mayor for the City of Leominster. And last year, I was able to balance something on my nose. But all I have here today is the stool that I'm sitting on, and I don't think I can. Maybe we can balance the desk on my nose. That's not because I have a big nose. Anyway, it is that time of year, and normally we're together. And you know, a year has made a lot of difference in our lives. We've learned a lot about each other, a lot about each other's businesses, and built relationships. And you know, relationships continue to get built, and doesn't not necessarily have to be at functions formally, although we miss those things. But there are other ways, and we found other ways. And you know, we're coming out closer, and we're coming out stronger. But it is a time when businesses are retooling and reinventing themselves, repurposing themselves. We've learned a lot. And, you know, excited about another season. Tourism here is a huge part of what goes on in the county. And we're expecting that slowly things will open up, just a little at a time, but safely. And we're planning on the Johnny Appleseed Festival, June 23rd. We're hoping to have the Flamingo Fest. And we're even looking at, you know, the Cannoli Fest and other things. They'll be different. They won't be the exact same as they were, as they once were, but you know, we don't want to cancel everything, and we haven't, but this is actually an exciting time. We're coming out of a pandemic. Things are starting to open. Again, we've had time to think and rethink and learn, you know, what really is important, and to hopefully hang on to those lessons forever, because we really have learned a lot, and it would be sad for us not to hang on to those things and embrace the things that are truly important, and one of them is our relationships with each other here at the North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce. And I want to thank all the staff. They were seamless, never missed a beat, and we were always in touch with them. They're always there to help us out. It kept the engines moving, and that made a big difference. And for all those on the board and all those serving at different capacities and all the members, thank you.
I would like to now move to the next part of our program, the presentation of our recognition awards. We are only able to accomplish what we do thanks to the support and commitment of our volunteers and our various committees. Individuals from a variety of companies dedicate their time and effort to actively participate in policy development and program planning. It's because of this continued effort that they deserve our thanks. These people have devoted countless hours to our chamber and our communities, and they have helped make us one of the top chambers in the country. We have many, many people to thank, but at this time I'd like to take a moment to just recognize a few individuals that we have selected for some special recognition awards for their support and commitment to our chamber and the advancement of North Central Massachusetts. First, we are pleased to announce our Ambassador of the Year, Sherry Keating of Diabetes Care Consulting. Sherry was voted by her fellow committee. Sherry is highly valued among her colleagues, peers, and the community as a whole. She has been a strong advocate of the work we do right from the very beginning when she first joined the chamber and the first meeting she ever attended, where she also had launched her company. She is extremely active in the Chamber, maintaining a strong presence at Chamber events and participating in our Community Leadership Institute. When she is not speaking about preventing diabetes, Sherry enjoys baking, spending time with her grandchildren, and taking walks with her husband and dogs. Sherry also serves as our Connect North Central Chair, another program of the Chamber. It is my honor to welcome Sherry Keating.
Thank you so much, Roy. First, I want to thank my fellow ambassadors for giving me this honor and for all your selfless time and efforts as Chamber ambassadors. It is not one person, but all of us working together that makes a difference in this region's economic growth and development. Second, I want to thank the Chamber for the opportunity to serve as ambassador for the past 4 years and to work with the incredible staff and group of professionals representing the Chamber in this capacity. As a solo entrepreneur and member of the Chamber since the day I started my small business almost 5 years ago, I have learned and experienced the significant value of Chamber membership and feel privileged to share this information and my personal involvement with other businesses. And lastly, as we continue to join our efforts, support the Chamber through membership, volunteer and serve in our communities, we make North Central Mass the best place to live and work. As I always say, together we will make a difference in the lives of many. Thank you.
I would like to also recognize all of our ambassadors for their hard work and everything they do. It is their unwavering support and belief in the Chamber's dynamic work that keeps us motivated every day. Next, we'd like to recognize Paulie Klebacek of Workers Credit Union. Paulie has completed his term as chair of our Young Professionals of North Central Massachusetts Steering Committee this past year. The Young Professionals of North Central Massachusetts is an important group within the Chamber that brings together young professionals from various backgrounds to enhance their professional and personal development. Paulie has been a great advocate of the program, which has offered some wonderful programs over the last year for the benefit of many in our region. Thank you, Paulie, for your efforts. Our next presentation is to 4 individuals who have dedicated multiple years to the advancement of the North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to recognize Mark Freeman, president of Steel Fab Inc., Neil Abramson, co-owner of ECI Stores, Will Aubuchon, president of W.E. Aubuchon Inc., and John O'Brien, former president and CEO of Leominster Credit Union. Neil Abramson and Will Aubuchon were first elected to the Chamber's Board of Directors in 2016, and Mark Freeman was elected in 2013 and served as chair of the board in 2017. They have been staunch supporters of the work of the Chamber and our affiliates. They have all served in various leadership roles within the Chamber and in the community. And this year, they all retire from the Board of Directors after completing their terms. John O'Brien was elected to the board in 2019 and served until his recent retirement from Leominster Credit Union. I want to express our thanks to Neil, Will, Mark, and John for their leadership and unwavering support of the Chamber and the region. Our final presentation is to 3 individuals who have served on the Board of Directors of Visit North Central Massachusetts, the Chamber's destination marketing arm. Al Rose of Red Apple Farm, Tom Myers of Wachusett Ski Area, and Nikki Mooreshead of the Colonial Hotel and Choxet Inn. Al Rose has completed his service as chair of the board of Visit North Central this past year. Al has served on the board for several years and has been a champion of our growing regional tourism economy. Al will remain on the Visit North Central Massachusetts board, but moves on to the role of immediate past chair. Henry Tessman, general manager of Great Wolf Lodge, was selected to take his place as chair of Visit North Central Massachusetts. Tom Myers and Nikki Mooreshead have completed their terms on the board of Visit North Central Massachusetts. I want to thank you to Al, Tom, and Nikki for your service and support of our efforts to market North Central Massachusetts and advance our economy. Next, we'd like to recognize and thank the Leadership Council of the Chamber. The Leadership Council is an important part of our governance structure. These community leaders dedicate themselves to furthering North Central Massachusetts. The names of those serving on the council are on the screen, and I want to thank you to everyone on the Leadership Council for your support and input this past year. There are many other members that volunteered their time and chaired a committee or a task force or served on one of our affiliate organizations. In the interest of time, we're not going to recognize everyone, but we do want you to know that we appreciate everyone's support and commitment. A complete list of our committees can be found on our website at www.northcentralmass.com/committees. A special thanks to all of these leaders for their service. Thank you.
When we decided to build the MassBio HQ and the MassBio Hub, we wanted to use local talent. We didn't know about AIS. When we found out about them, we wanted to source the furniture locally, and we did, and it was one of the best decisions that we ever made.
We're doing something different here.
What we're doing, again, is creating relationships.
It's really the people that make this organization special. It's the ability of our people to work hard, think differently, be creative.
When you walk through the space, you can definitely tell that we bleed Massachusetts.
When you say you manufacture in Massachusetts, they go, how do you do that? You know, Massachusetts has been great.
One of the most impressive things that I found from visiting and learning more about AIS is how diverse their workforce is.
I'll never forget when I went to tour this space, I was immediately impressed with the countries that were represented on the flags on the wall with the workforce. And to think that their manufacturing staff was comprised of over 50% women, it seemed like a perfect fit. Our board members and our members come in and can't believe how gorgeous everything is.
When MassBio chooses a strategic partner, they need to be best in class. They need to put out quality. They need to be committed to driving the economy. They need to be committed to diversity and inclusion. It has truly been an amazing experience.
Thank you, Roy. I would also like to acknowledge the Chamber's great staff. The Chamber has a small team of 14 professionals on its staff who are deeply committed to our mission and who have been a tremendous resource to our membership and community during this past year. I want to thank them all for their efforts and service. Please welcome Dr. Michael Greenwood, Chair of the Chamber's Community Leadership Institute, who will introduce the Community Leadership Class of 2021.
Thank you, Dave and Kat. Hello, everyone. I am pleased to be joining you today as chair of the Community Leadership Institute. It was in 1989 that the Community Leadership Institute was created to support a need for well-rounded leaders, not only for sustainability and succession planning in their own businesses, but in our community as well. In 1997, we took a hiatus from the program, but in 2011, at the direction of then Chamber Board Chairman Marty Connors of Rollstone Bank and Trust, thank you, Marty, the Community Leadership Institute was renewed in total. More than 350 local individuals have completed the 9-month Community Leadership Institute, with 150 emerging community leaders taking part since 2011. Over the course of the 9-month program, participants in the Institute take part in day-long sessions on various areas of the community. Our class speaker will tell you more about this, but the topic areas have included legislation, healthcare, volunteerism, arts and culture, and more. The participants often meet with community leaders such as our mayors, state representatives, and presidents of industry, as well as taking part in a personal and professional leadership development program I've been honored to lead these many years. To tell you more about the program, it is my pleasure to introduce Paul Klebachek. Paulie was chosen to speak as representative for the class as a result of a vote of all the class members.
Thank you, Dr. Greenwood, and good morning, everyone. My name is Paulie Klebachek, and I'm a proud graduate of the Community Leadership Institute class of 2021. I am very humbled to have been granted the opportunity to speak on behalf of my fellow classmates and share some insight and some gratitude regarding our year in which we learned, among other things, the importance of unmuting ourselves, that pants were optional on Zoom meetings, that the Twilight Zone is in fact a real place, and of course many other values. So in seriousness, we were incredibly blessed and fortunate to have many accomplished people involved in the course of our curriculum, which was spearheaded by Dr. Michael Greenwood. Friends and former classmates of Dr. Greenwood will most certainly be able to recall his signature call to arms, "Let's go change the world." So this past year, however, we really did not have to do much in that regard, as the world around us was rapidly and very unexpectedly changing in response to a global pandemic the majority of us have never seen in our lifetimes. So, with Dr. Greenwood's guidance, we learned that in a time of considerable change and uncertainty, the role of strong and genuine leadership became all more necessary, and the need for it all the more apparent. When people do not know who, what, or where to go to for comfort and reassurance, we learned that the change in the world that we could provide was evolving ourselves into pillars of support, awareness, understanding, compassion, and inspiration for our fellow humanity. My fellow classmates shared a great deal of vulnerability and incredible resilience in their own journeys through a global pandemic. Whether it was going through quarantine as a single parent, changing jobs in the middle of an economic crisis, or losing a loved one. The motivation to continue on and be the change that the world needs is all that myself or anyone with a pulse can respect and feel strongly emboldened by. So I would like to first thank all my amazing classmates for being just awesome human beings and coming together in a difficult and challenging era of our lives. It was incredible, and I love you all. I would also like to thank all the incredible guest speakers that so graciously gave their time and shared their own messages of leadership and inspiration with us. I would love to thank all my friends here at the North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce, with extra special thanks going to Roy Nascimento for being a rock of steadfast support, and for Kat Deal for just being an absolute rock star. And lastly, I am honored to thank Dr. Michael Greenwood for sharing his messages and his wisdom, his integrity, and his compassion for humanity and leadership. We are all going to change the world, and we hope that you intend to do that along with us. Thank you.
It is my honor to introduce the Community Leadership Institute Class of 2021. Anna Wilkins, North County Land Trust. Ashley Kenny, Fitchburg Public Library. Cindy Dalton, City of Fitchburg Community Development Department. Colby O'Brien, the Arc of Opportunity. Kelly Johnson, Digital Federal Credit Union. Kaija Gordon, Mount Wachusett Community College. Marcio Serino, Jr., Rollstone Bank and Trust. Nancy Della Rosa, Primerica. Natalie Aguilar, Resource Management Incorporated. Paul Klebachek, Workers Credit Union. Ryan Murphy, North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce. Samuel Smith, Advent Financial. Sherry Keating, Diabetes Care Consultants. Ty Adorno, Leominster Credit Union. Thank you, everyone. And now, let's go change the world.
North Central Massachusetts is home to Mount Wachusett Community College. We make a $200 million impact right here on our local economy, providing quality education, workforce training, early college, and our students perform more than 100,000 hours of volunteer service, major in 73 subjects, learn in 126 classrooms and labs. Mount Wachusett Community College serves the public with a community theater, art gallery, and world-class fitness center. Think education. Think innovation. Think economic impact. Think Mount Wachusett Community College.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words at the North Central Chamber's annual meeting. First and foremost, I want to thank Roy Nascimento and his staff at the Chamber for their dedication, support, and advocacy for our local businesses, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Chamber of Commerce and the North Central Massachusetts Development Corporation have been committed to the economic advancement in this region and have continued to do so despite the difficult challenges brought about by COVID-19. Whether providing business counseling, technical assistance, working to increase job opportunities, or offering training sessions and workshops, you've been there, always working to help businesses prosper and grow. Fortunately, we seem to be approaching better times. Our schools are back in session. Our renovated $24 million City Hall has opened its doors. Our city is at work and on the rise. I'm proud to say that Fitchburg never stopped advancing. Despite the challenges, our community came together like never before, and the economic vitality of our great city continues to grow. I'm confident your commitment to building a healthy economy and improving our quality of life. If I can be of assistance to you in any matter, please do not hesitate to contact my office. I thank you for being an economic driver, a community supporter, and a good neighbor. I would also like to thank the Chamber for their continued dedication to their mission of building businesses, building communities, and building bridges, even virtually. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank this year's Board of Directors for their dedication to the Chamber. Their guidance and the many accomplishments would not have been possible. Neil Abramson, ECI, Will Obashan, W.E. Obashan Company, Steve Devarney, Devarney Jewelers, Tony Fields, ClearTech Group, Elaine Fluart, Care Central VNA and Hospice, Mark Freeman, Steel Fab Inc., Matt Fournier, Elite Construction and Design, Ann Leader, Vision Payroll, Richard Laputis, Fitchburg State University, Rachel Lopez, Resource Management Inc., Barbara Mahoney, Leominster Credit Union, Christopher McCarthy, Fidelity Bank, Cheryl Moldash, Dixie Consumer Products, Bruce Platzman, AIS, Steve Rochela, Rochela Tool and Die, Henry Tessman, Great Wolf Lodge, James Vanderhoeven, Wachusett Community College, and myself as immediate past chair. Last month, per our bylaws, we submitted a ballot to the membership and elected the following individuals to the Board of Directors for a new term starting next month. Allie Caitlin of Smith's Country Cheese, Rodrigo Souza of Comquito Brazilian Steakhouse, and John Zarella of Research Results, Inc. The following directors were also elected to serve another 3-year term on the board. Matthew Fournier of Elite Construction and Design, Rachel Lopez of Resource Management, Inc. I would like to thank all of those who have served on the board, who are willing to serve on the board. Also, thank all the members this year of the nominating committee, which was chaired by Steve Rochela, president of Rochela Tool and Die. At a meeting earlier today, the following individuals were elected to serve as officers in the balance of the Chamber's Executive Committee for the ensuing year. Elected to the Executive Committee as at-large members, Dr. James Vanderhoeven, Mount Wachusett Community College, Bruce Platzman, AIS, President and Clerk Roy Nascimento, Treasurer Cheryl Molbash, Dixie Consumer Products, Vice Chair Chris McCarthy, Fidelity Bank, and Chair Rachel Lopez, Resource Management, and myself as immediate past chair. Before we conclude the business portion of the meeting, I'd like to confer my responsibilities to our next chair, Rachel Lopez, President of Resource Management, Inc. It has been an honor and pleasure to serve as chair of this great chamber over the past year, especially during such an exciting time where the chamber provided much leadership and helped our region navigate such an extraordinary and difficult time. I thank you for the opportunity. I have greatly enjoyed my time as chair of the board. While I am passing along the gavel, I will still be on the board as well as in the community for support. I encourage you to join me and to remain committed to the chamber in the years to come. It is now my pleasure to introduce our new chair of the board, Rachel Lopez.
Thank you, Dave. David Duvall, my predecessor, will be a hard act to follow. I'm honored and humbled to be elected chair for this year. I'm grateful to continue serving on a board that embraces diversity, race, sex, age, industries are all represented and mirroring the businesses that this chamber serves and the communities that we live in. Thank you to the Executive Committee for this privilege, and as your chair, it will be my pleasure to serve. At this time, I would like to adjourn our business portion of the meeting and introduce our first speaker. Senator Ed Markey is an American lawyer and politician who has served as the junior United States Senator from Massachusetts since 2013. A member of the Democratic Party, he was the U.S. Representative for Massachusetts, the 7th Congressional District from 1976 to 2013. Between the House and the Senate, Markey has served in Congress for more than 4 decades. He was also a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives from 1973 to 1976. Senator Markey has focused on climate change and energy policy and was chair of the House Select Committee on Energy, Independence, and Global Warming from 2007 to 2011. Markey is the Senate author of the Green New Deal. He is the Dean of the Massachusetts Congressional Delegation, having served in Congress since 1976. Welcome, Senator Ed Markey.
Hello, North Central Massachusetts. Senator Ed Markey here, and I'm so glad to be with you virtually for the North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce's 37th annual meeting. Thank you so much for having me. There is so much happening in Washington, and I'm excited to give all of you an update about the American Rescue Plan, infrastructure conversations that could bring billions of dollars to Massachusetts, and more.
Hi, my name is Allie Catlin. I'm one of the owners of Smith's Country Cheese in Winchendon. And my question today is, with Massachusetts and other states completely reopening, do you believe we still need another round of relief like we saw from the American Rescue Plan, or is the Senate shifting focus to other initiatives?
First of all, the American Rescue Plan is a massive relief package that finally reflects the scope and the scale of the crises at hand. The federal response to the coronavirus pandemic looks very different than it did just last year. This package is bringing more than $5 billion directly to Massachusetts, and even more directly to local governments in the Commonwealth. This rescue package is certainly rescuing millions of Americans from further homelessness, unemployment, hunger, and death because of this pandemic. And the package is allowing us to finally take the necessary action to get shots in arms, money in pockets, children in schools, and people in jobs. The package provides more than $25 billion in rental assistance and more than $4.5 billion in low-income home energy funding. This package is helping our state and cities distribute the vaccine, balance our budgets, and keep teachers and firefighters and bus drivers on the job. And we provided additional support for small businesses, including $28 billion towards the Restaurant Revitalization Fund to help restaurants and bars that have fed and nourished us, but have themselves been starving for support. Well, they get a lot of extra help here to help them to just make it through for a while longer, so that they have time for the entire economy to recover and for those restaurants and bars to have made it. And we put extra funding in for small businesses as well. The American Rescue Plan is one of the most popular pieces of major legislation in American history, and it's just the beginning. In the months ahead, Congress is poised to make massive investments in infrastructure through the American Jobs Plan. President Biden has promised to work with us on an infrastructure package that will create millions of new jobs, promote safety, and address our ever-worsening climate crisis. We need to go big, we need to go bold, and we need to go fast. We cannot negotiate this package down to secure a pretense of bipartisanship. We have to work for bipartisanship. We have to bring everyone together so that we can be successful. And I think that we need a big infrastructure package. You know, a smaller infrastructure package means fewer jobs and less climate action and less recovery and less investment in America's future, fewer bridges, fewer roads, fewer projects in all of the communities of Massachusetts. The American Jobs Plan can help update Massachusetts rail system, ensure that our roads are accessible for all modes of transit, finally include green planning in our highway system, and kickstart a clean energy revolution by deploying a network of electric vehicle charging stations and investing in offshore wind off our coastline that is going to create thousands of new jobs here in Massachusetts. But we also have to remember that infrastructure is not just roads and highways and bridges. Education is infrastructure, paid leave is infrastructure. And that's why we must also pass President Biden's American Families Plan to ensure that human infrastructure is front and center in our recovery. Investing in a healthy economy means investing in our people, and Congress is poised to pass a big package, infrastructure package, to ensure a full and equitable recovery. We have to try to do it bipartisan. We hope that people are going to cross the aisle so that we can put this together on a bipartisan basis, but we do have to do something big.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Schwartz from Alpha Graphics Shirley, and we're a business printer that will get your brand out to all your external and internal customers, and I'm glad to be here. Senator Markey, you recently traveled to the region with Congresswoman Trahan. Based on your visit, how does the region best stand to benefit from the president's proposed family and infrastructure plans?
It was wonderful to visit Fitchburg and Gardner with Congresswoman Trahan just last month, where we were briefed on ongoing efforts to get shots in arms in the North Central region, updated on Fitchburg's exciting plans to revitalize Main Street, and enjoyed a delicious lunch at the Gardner Ale House. We saw firsthand that North Central Massachusetts is open for business. The American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan are both major infrastructure proposals that have the potential of being enormous financial resources to Massachusetts. The American Families Plan is a $2 trillion proposal that can vastly expand family leave policies, child leave policies, and allow us to truly see families as part of the infrastructure of our country. This investment, because it is an investment in families and in the future of our country, will help families recover and ensure that their basic expenses are paid for, and to help families to truly recover after a year that left so many in financial crisis without childcare and uncertain about the future. By investing in childcare and American Families Plan, that will allow nearly 1 million people, primarily women, to re-enter our workforce and add nearly $60 billion in productivity back into our economy. The American Jobs Plan will allow us to save all of creation by engaging in massive job creation in Massachusetts. And that plan has to invest in infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, railways, and ports, with climate action at the heart of every dollar spent. President Biden's proposal specifically includes $20 billion to improve road safety for all users and to reduce traffic crashes and fatalities, especially for cyclists. This aligns with my goal to fight for the infrastructure package that achieves a true transportation transformation, with funds that will help cities and towns provide safe and accessible transportation options for all modes of travel and welcome pedestrians, bicyclists, and public transit users equally. The president's proposal also aligns with my goal to shift our transportation away from gas-guzzling cars and reduce greenhouse emissions by electrifying travel and promoting more affordable and equitable public transportation.
Hello, my name is Tara Lapis. I'm co-owner of Ascension Appraisal. My question is in regard to internet access. Last year, as part of the COVID relief package, the federal government enacted the emergency broadband benefit to help ensure access to the internet. How will the proposed infrastructure plan help to further ensure equity when it comes to internet access? Thank you.
In the past 25 years, we have made major strides in high-speed internet access, but the COVID-19 pandemic has showed us that broadband is an essential utility, like heat in the winter and running water. We have so much more work to do to ensure universal connectivity. First, you have to close the homework gap experienced by 12 to 17 million young people across our country who still do not have internet access at home and are unable to participate in online learning or complete their homework after class. We cannot allow the homework gap to become a larger opportunity gap, because we need these young people to be the workforce of the future, and we don't want them missing the 3rd grade or the 5th grade. We have to make sure they get it at home. And that's really a big revolution that has been demonstrated by what happened over the past year. And that's why I'm so proud that the American Rescue Plan included my legislation, the Emergency Educational Connections Act, that will send more than $7 billion in funding to connect students to the internet through my E-Rate program as students continue to learn from home. And to build on this, the American Jobs Plan includes $100 billion in broadband funding to finally close the digital divide for all Americans. This is a massive opportunity to connect every person in our country, and I am fighting to make sure those funds are used to promote both broadband access, bringing the broadband everywhere across our country, and broadband adoption, ensuring broadband is affordable for everyone. This will help people in both urban and rural areas to connect to the internet and spark our innovation economy. And finally, with climate change and natural disasters posing an ever-growing threat, we have to invest in the resources required to build resilient communications networks that can withstand emergency situations. So in addition to simultaneously reducing the environmental footprint of our communications technology itself, that's why I'm fighting for at least $5 billion to be put aside for projects that will increase the resiliency and energy efficiency of communications infrastructure. Universal service requires reliable networks that don't disappear when you need them the most. When we invest in broadband, we're investing in education, healthcare, renewable energy, and so many other sectors. I'm thrilled about the potential this infrastructure proposal has for expanding internet access. And in North Central Massachusetts, it's right there. The more broadband that we make accessible is the more prosperity businesses are going to have, but also opportunities that we're going to be giving to children as well. So that's at the top of my agenda. And I know that it is going to be something that really helps to create more prosperity in North Central.
Senator Markey, thank you for being with us today. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Governor Charlie Baker. Governor Baker is an American politician and businessman serving as the 72nd governor of Massachusetts since January 8th, 2015. He was a cabinet official under 2 governors of Massachusetts and served 10 years as CEO of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. Governor Charlie Baker grew up in Needham, Massachusetts, and earned a BA from Harvard University in 1979 and later obtained an MBA from Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management. In 1991, he became Massachusetts Undersecretary of Health and Human Services under Governor Bill Weld. In 1992, he was appointed Secretary of Health and Human Services of Massachusetts. He later served as Secretary of Administration and Finance under Weld and his successor, Paul Cellucci. In 2014, Baker ran for office and was elected 72nd governor of Massachusetts. Nonpartisan polls consistently list him as the nation's most popular governor. Welcome, Governor Baker.
Morning, everyone. This is Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker, and I want to thank you for having me with you this morning at your virtual annual meeting. I've been to the North Central Mass Chamber of Commerce a number of times, and it's an honor to join you again, although this time, obviously, I won't be in person. But I'm confident that the days of virtual events, at least ones like this, are just about to be behind us. It's exciting to be able to share some thoughts with you about the road ahead for Massachusetts as we fully reopen our economy and move forward with our economic recovery. The people of the Commonwealth have been through so much over the past year, but together we've put COVID on the run. And thanks to the incredible efforts of our healthcare workers, our community partners, and so many others, Massachusetts is meeting its goal of vaccinating over 4 million residents this month, which, by the way, makes us a national leader. And all the metrics we track when it comes to our fight against this virus, we've seen incredible progress in the right direction since January. And that's why at the end of last month, Massachusetts achieved a major milestone in the fight against COVID. As I'm sure you know, on May 29th, we lifted all the remaining COVID restrictions, including capacity limits and other restrictions. It's obviously good news for our economy and our communities and our small businesses, and we'll continue our vaccination effort into the coming weeks and months, focusing on mobile units, community-based clinics, and homebound efforts to reach people where they are. We're also continuing to prioritize vaccine equity, continuing our door-to-door canvassing in communities that were most impacted by the virus, including many in central Massachusetts, like Leominster and Worcester. And for employers, we recently launched an employer vaccination program that allows them to request mobile vaccination units to come vaccinate their unvaccinated workers. All of these efforts will make sure that we can keep COVID in check while we turn our focus to supporting the economic recovery and helping communities revitalize and reimagine their downtowns and their main streets. We know the last year has been enormously challenging for our small businesses. The pandemic disrupted our economy in ways that we could never have imagined, and the decisions to impose restrictions on our economy were definitely some of the toughest that I've ever had to make. In Massachusetts, our businesses were resilient and creative. They found new ways to reach customers and in many cases continue to serve their communities. But still, we know the economic impact of the pandemic has been profound. And that's why for months our administration's been focused on helping small businesses stay open, pay their workers, and move toward recovery. Throughout the winter and into the spring, we distributed almost $700 million through our Small Business Relief Initiative to thousands of small businesses across the Commonwealth. That was the largest program of its kind in the country. And as we go forward, we're going to continue to find ways to help our businesses recover and bring customers back. Last month, we partnered with the restaurant industry to launch a new marketing campaign called Let's Go Out. The campaign aims to simplify and amplify our restaurants as a driver of the way of life we have here in the Commonwealth as things return to normal. And it also builds on the My Local MA campaign that we launched last summer that supported local businesses in Massachusetts at that time. This new restaurant campaign will remind people of what it was like back in the day to make memories with friends and family and really enjoy all that our restaurants have to offer this summer and beyond. We're also committed to helping businesses fill open jobs and to helping workers get connected with high-demand industries. Before the pandemic, the Lieutenant Governor and I began to promote a new initiative our administration launched in early 2020. It was our Career Technical Initiative. This effort aims to train an additional 20,000 skilled workers in the next 6 years by leveraging the power of our vocational schools. The initiative creates more opportunities for adult learners to connect with skill-building programs in high-demand technical fields. And earlier this spring, we awarded $2.1 million as part of the talent round of grants in this program. The awards went to vocational schools to support their expanded training opportunities and new programs. And the awardees included Monty Tech, who you're all quite familiar with, right here in North Central Massachusetts. The grant will support training for unemployed and underemployed residents in the plumbing and welding fields, areas where there's a lot of opportunity. And employer partners include 6 local businesses in the Fitchburg area. Going forward, we've proposed an additional $17 million in our FY22 budget proposal to significantly expand this program because it works. These kinds of programs will be key as we help our economy recover and support our workers and businesses. As we emerge from the pandemic, our administration is going to continue to focus on ways to power our recovery. As that process moves forward, we're looking to partner with folks like the North Central Chamber to support your regional and economic concerns and local interests. Our phone's available. Call me. And thanks again for the opportunity to speak to you today, and enjoy the rest of your program.
Thank you, Governor Baker, and to everyone joining us online today for the 37th annual meeting.